So, today I'm going to be talking about a very interesting topic. How do you become a good public speaker? So, I have to admit, if there's a question that I'm asked the most, it's this one: how do you become a good public speaker? And I want to believe that this comes from a place of how do you just become a good public speaker in general, whether it's at church, whether it's at work, or whether you want to make a career out of it, become a paid speaker. The question is just how do you become a good public speaker? How do you build confidence to speak to a group of people? I did a video on how to build your confidence. I'll attach the link in the description. You can watch that. Maybe it can help you, but it's just a video that speaks about building your confidence in general and not particularly to public speaking. So I'm going to talk about public speaking in particular in this video. How do you do that? Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Petronella Mnenja. I'm an author. This is my book, From Gawker to Oxford, The Girl Who Dared to Dream. It's available on Amazon. Please do get a copy. By the end of the year, and I'm quite aware that we're left with something like 23 days. Hopefully I'll have completed my second book. I'm so excited. I can't wait to share that with you. But let's get right into today's video. How do you become a good public speaker? I know so many people want to learn how to speak. We have so many ideas in our heads, but having an idea that's amazing, that's interesting, that's informative in your head is a whole different thing with learning how to actually communicate it, how to actually arrange your thoughts, and how to actually communicate it to a group of people. And that is something that the average person struggles with. And as I always tell you, I'm going to start this with a disclaimer. As I always tell you, there are a lot of videos on how to learn public speaking. Please, after watching this one, I advise you to go and watch them, because what I tell you on this channel is what has worked for me, and it's stuff that continues to work for me. So it may be something that you've heard before, or it may not be. Whatever the case might be, this is a very interesting subject with so many people saying a lot of helpful things in it. So I will just teach you what I've learned and go on ahead to learn from other people. The first thing that I've learned that has worked for me is develop enough passion and conviction about a particular subject. So if you're going to be a speaker, it's before you start speaking about anything, make sure that you have enough passion and conviction with what you're saying. And I want you to notice this. Some of the greatest preachers, some of the greatest speakers of all time, they are particularly captivating, intriguing, and you just love listening to them because they are passionate. You can hear the conviction in their voice when they say each and every single word. You can hear the conviction in their voice. They are passionate about what they're saying. They understand it. They want you to know. They want everyone to know. They are passionate. So the first thing is develop enough passion about a particular subject. What do you want to talk about? Are you a motivational person? Are you a transformational person? I am very passionate with self-development. I'm passionate with people focusing on their goals. I am passionate about dreams, about visions, about aspiration. And I'm also a realist and a pragmatist. I want people to know the truth. So because I have learned so many things with the few years that God has given me, by the grace of God, I've learned a lot of things, and I'm passionate about helping people understand the journey that I've walked, whatever I have done. I want people to know how I did it so they can do it too. So because that's something that I'm passionate about, it's easy for me to tell you about confidence, about self-esteem, about building your dreams, about a whole lot of things, because I'm passionate about them. So the first step is become passionate about whatever it is that you want to talk about. Develop enough passion to actually, so that when you speak to people, they actually hear you. Have you noticed that there are some people that they are very good, they're very eloquent, but when they are speaking, you just cannot connect with them. There is just that disconnect. It's just the mouth that's speaking. You can tell, it's usually you see this with politicians when they're giving their speeches. They are saying all the right sounding words, they're saying all the right things, but you just cannot connect to them because there is just that disconnect that you can tell, that you can hear in their voice. So that's why the first step is develop enough passion about a particular subject so that when you speak, people can hear conviction. Whether or not you are eloquent, whether or not you are coherent, when you speak with passion and conviction, please don't be overly emotional. It's one thing to be to speak with passion, and it's another thing to be emotional. So just make sure that you strike that right balance. With enough passion, you will learn. Okay. And the second one is practice. Practice. Everything that you do with your mind, everything that you do with your body, everything that we do, essentially every part of the body that we use is a muscle that you develop. So if you want to develop your body, if you want to develop muscles, if you want to be fit, you go to the gym. If you want to learn something, you read. It's the same thing as speaking. If you want to be a good speaker, practice. Speak. Do you know some of my most amazing speeches that I've given them to the mirror, by the way. Some of my most amazing work is done in my house, you know. So sometimes I just learn something that I find so exciting, and in my head, I don't know when, I don't know how, but I know that I'm going to have the platform of the opportunity to talk about it. So what do I do when I'm cutting my vegetables, when I'm in the bathroom, when I'm in the mirror? I'm practicing. I speak. How will I start? What will be my opening statement? How will I build on this? How will I manage the tempo? How will I do this? I practice. No one is above practice. No one is above practice. Even the most successful athletes, they practice. They have broken the world record today at the Olympics. 2 days after the Olympics, they are back on the on the ground training, because everything that you do, everything that you're good at, you have to train, practice. And when you practice something enough, you become good at it. So if you look at some of the people that you emulate, if you look at their videos when they started and where they are now, you can actually see gradually the change. You can one of the people that I find interesting is Ben Shapiro, and on his website he has a list of the dumb things that he said in his life, and you can notice, even if when you watch his videos, like he took a different approach. It's not even him. So many people, how they started speaking 10 years ago and how they are speaking now, you can tell that there is a gap. You can tell that a lot of things have happened. They have evolved, they have developed. That's you. Give yourself time, the opportunity to practice. If you have young sisters, if you have siblings, if you have your parents, sit them down and practice with them. Whatever that you practice, eventually you will become good at. There are no two ways about it. Practice. The third one is find a mentor / role model. And when that's let me clarify this. This doesn't have to be a person that you know, by the way. Some of my role models, some of my mentors, they don't even know that they are my mentors. I claim them as my mentors, but they have absolutely no idea. Some of the people that inspire me, some of the people that just motivate me, that just make me want to do more, to be more. I have never talked to them. But they are those people, you know. So if you want to speak, whatever it is that you want to speak about, there is someone who is already speaking about that. Don't try to reinvent the world. Don't try to do something that's out of this world. Even the word of God says there is nothing new under the sun. There is someone who speaks the way you want to speak. There is someone who speaks about the things that you want to speak about. There is someone who sees the world from your perspective. And I'm not saying just copy them. I'm saying use that person as your own starting point for innovation. Innovation is simply copying and perfecting. So find someone there that inspires you, someone that speaks the way you want, and use that person as a starting point to finding your voice and to becoming the speaker that you want to become. And this, I can't stress this enough. Find someone that inspires you, follow them. When you find that person, watch every video, read every post, read every book, find inspiration, find role models. Look at how they say certain things, look at where they pose, just find someone that you look up to. This is what I always tell people. When you want to write, when you want to sing, when you want to do anything, there is always someone in that particular field. There is always someone doing what you want or what you hope to be doing. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Find mentors, find role models. And the last one, this is slightly related to the first one, but not different as well. It's build your knowledge. Okay? Build your knowledge. when you find whatever that you want to talk about, when you find whatever that you are passionate about, don't just be one of those people that likes speaking for the sake of speaking. Don't just be that person who just likes to hear the sound of their own voice. Don't be just that person who just speak for the sake of speaking. Actually build knowledge. Knowledge gives you confidence. Knowledge gives you confidence. When you know things, you are comfortable talking about them. At least if you're a normal person. I've seen some people in my day who, no matter they know or they don't know, they're just overly confident. But that doesn't work. You can be confident and get away with that for the first 10 minutes. But after 10 minutes, you actually have to know something. So build your knowledge base. If you want to teach people about purpose, about vision, invest in knowing. Know whatever that you can about purpose. What does Myles Monroe say about purpose? What does T.D. Jakes? What does the Bible? What does Joshua Selman? What does a lot of people? They are giants. They are people that actually know these things. There are books that are written. What do they say about those things? And when you seek out this information, when you seek out these people, one thing I will tell you is one of the most effective ways of becoming a critical thinker is the ability to absorb so many opinions before you develop your own. We live in a world where people don't even take time to develop opinions anymore. It's one Facebook post, one tweet, someone has an opinion of the world, someone has an opinion about an entire political movement, someone has an opinion about an entire political standpoint with just one tweet. People don't actually invest or seek out time to actually understand where they sit, what their biases are, what their limitations are. People don't actually seek out knowledge anymore. It's just, so if you're going to actually speak and to actually make someone understand or someone hear the conviction in your voice, then you need to build the knowledge. Once you build the knowledge base, once you start knowing things, you will be excited to share those things in a way that is creative, in a way that is inclusive, in a way that edifies people. So don't just be excited with speaking for the sake of speaking. Develop a passion about a particular subject. And when you do that, find a mentor, find someone who inspires you. And after you have done that, gain the knowledge. If you do those 4 things, I assure you, you will be one step closer to becoming the speaker that you can be. Practice above all, read above all. You can't reinvent the world. Find people that inspire you and people that you can learn from. And as I always say, guys, these are my views. These are my opinions. This is stuff that has worked for me. By all means, seek out information. By all means, listen to other videos. By all means, read other books. But for me, that has worked. So let me know in the comments some of the things that have helped you become a public speaker, or tell me about your journey to public speaking, or just let me know other things you would want me to explore related to this topic. It's been awesome talking to you guys. See you next time.